Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to speed draw an Among Us figure to help you with your next project. In keeping with our topics from class, we will use complementary colors to create shadows and add depth. To begin, of course, I'm going to lightly pencil in my character. Remember, for our class project, you want a minimum of one large character, one medium character, and one small character. This will give your picture depth, as larger characters appear closest to the viewer and smaller characters seem further away. Remember, you need a minimum of 3 characters, and you do not have to choose an Among Us character. You could do a baby Grogu, a simple alien, or, if you spoke to me earlier, something completely different. As long as you use our complementary color schemes, you may draw whatever you'd like. I also highly suggest that you go over your pencil lines with Sharpie. This will help your work stand out once we collage it onto our final piece of paper later. Think back to our earlier class discussions about line weight. For example, you might use a thicker line for those larger figures, implying that they are closer to the viewer, and a thinner line for those objects further away. I'm going to make my character red, which means I need to start with the complementary color green. I am making a value scale here, much like we did our very first day in learning to shade. I move from using my very hardest pressure to my very softest pressure, which indicates that there is a change in lighting, and it gives what would otherwise be a flat shape a 3-dimensional form. I'm going to put my camera in super speed mode to finish this up. Now I'm going over my base of green with red. I'm using my hardest pressure on almost all parts of my character. I'm just going to leave a little space at the top of his head for a highlight. We'll see that in a second. Let's first finish up the rest of his body. For my highlighted area, I'm going to lighten my pressure just a bit and then go over that space with white. Using this very hard pressure to blend my colored pencils is a process called burnishing. Burnishing is especially helpful when rendering things that were originally made on a computer. It gives them a very graphic look. Now I'm going back with my green and my red to touch up a little more. I'm also adding a small shadow directly above my character's helmet. I think this just adds a little more 3-dimensionality. You might find various things that need fixing. As for me, I decided to fade out my shadow just a little bit more. Now it's time to shade the helmet, the part I always mistake for the character's nose. The helmet for every Among Us character is a sort of bluish green. We know that the complement of the tertiary color blue-green is red-orange. So therefore, I need to make a base of red-orange before I layer my blue-green over top of it. In fact, I'm going to create my Among Us character's helmet exactly the same way as I did his body. And this is very similar in general to the spheres that we practiced blending and shading in class. That is, there's a highlight, midtones, and a shadow. All of these elements work together to make the form appear 3-dimensional. Once again, the process of burnishing can make my object appear shiny. I felt like my shadowed area wasn't quite strong enough, so here I am going back over that core shadow with a darker blue. You might have to make various modifications or adjustments as well. Remember, art is very different than math or science in the sense that it doesn't have any set formulas. Do what you think is best. Nonetheless, the concepts presented here and in class should prove very helpful to you, and by the end of this project, you will have some very realistic characters that seem as if they truly exist in three-dimensional space. As always, I look forward to seeing what you create. Talk to you soon. Bye!